Hey guys, welcome back to Teaching in the Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to start our journey around the world. Last time I told you to do a little bit of research on Maryland to see what kind of cuisine they might eat, and I got several responses, and most of you picked the same thing and got it right. And I'll tell you what that is in a second. We're going to talk about two things today. The first thing we're going to talk about is coloring your plate. So take a look down here at all these different fruits and vegetables. All of these vegetables have a different color, or fruits have a different color, and we're going to talk about what those mean, and we're actually going to put all of these into our food today in different ways. I'm going to take our orange pepper down here, and we are going to make crab cakes. So if you guessed crab cakes, you got it right. Very good, most of you did. We did get a couple other responses, which were really good guesses too. But we are going to make crab cakes today. The first thing you need to make your crab cakes with is crab. You can get this at Sam's. It's called real crab meat. I'll show you the lid. It's over in the seafood section where the bread is, right beside all that stuff. You can also use imitation crab meat, totally fine. A lot of people do, or you can kind of mix it in there. Most restaurants you go to, especially around here, are going to use imitation crab meat in their stuff. They might use some real crab meat and imitation crab meat. Crab meat's kind of expensive, especially when you buy it like this. So don't feel bad if you need to use imitation crab meat. But for the purposes of today, I wanted to use real crab meat because I'm going to show you how to make these. So we need crab meat. We need breadcrumbs. I use panko breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, if you remember from the other day, is just a filler. Eggs and breadcrumbs are a binder. They don't actually, they're not really in there for flavor as much as they are for bulk and to hold things together. I'm also using 2 eggs. I've already put those in there, okay? And I'm going to use a little bit of hot sauce, paprika, salt and pepper, and I'm going to use orange bell pepper. Okay, you can actually use any colored bell pepper you want. I use orange because I'm using yellow and red over in the other stuff already, so I'm going to incorporate a different color with the crab cakes. A lot of times I'll put red in here if I'm not making the salsa we're making, but use any kind you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. This is about a half a pepper, a half a big pepper. You can see I cut it off. You don't need to use the whole pepper. There's a lot of water in peppers and any vegetable really. So if you use too much of it, it's going to make the crab cakes too moist and they'll fall apart. So you want these for flavor and color, but you don't want to overuse them because there'll be too much water in them. Okay, and I'm going to dump the crab in. Use the whole thing. Okay, you don't need to save it. If you want to make little bits at a time, you can, but then you have to remake the mixture every time, and that's a pain. So take the crab out, dump it all in there. Okay, I'm going to mix that up here in a second. And then I need about a cup of breadcrumbs. A lot of places you go to will use way more breadcrumbs than they'll use crab meat. And you don't want to do that because these are crab cakes, not bread cakes. So really, you just want enough that's going to hold them together. So I'm going to use about a cup. I've got 16 ounces of crab meat in there, and I'm using 8 ounces of breadcrumbs because that's about half as much. I don't want it to be full of bread. I want it to be full of crab. Okay? I'm going to use about a teaspoon of paprika. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay? And about 2 big pinches of salt and 1 big pinch of pepper. Okay? It's about a teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to use a little bit of hot sauce. You won't taste the hot sauce as far as heat goes. This is more for flavor. You might catch a little bit of heat in there, but it's more just to give it that flavor that goes into crab cakes. And just like the other day, the best use to mix things up with stuff like this is your hands. Make sure your hands are really clean, okay? Don't put dirty hands down here. And I'm just going to get in there and mix and mix and mix. Make sure those eggs get busted up good. Make sure the breadcrumbs get incorporated. Make sure all the ingredients are in there. I also set my pan to about medium to high heat. If you have a number on your oven, or on your stove, it's going to be about 6 or 6.5 as far as where you want to set your heat. The reason for that is because if you make it too hot, it's going to burn the edges before it cooks the middle, and if you don't make it hot enough, it's not going to make the edges crispy. So you want to try to get your heat perfect. I also put in the pan oil, canola oil. I don't use extra virgin olive oil for this one because it adds flavor to it that I don't want in the crab cake. The oil needs to cover the pan and no more. Okay, once the pan's covered, you've got enough oil. We're not deep frying these, but we are going to saute the edges of them and fry the edges of them. Okay, all right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, it looks like it's going to stick together pretty well, and that's what I want. Okay, I usually make mini crab cakes. Today we're going to make medium-sized crab cakes. But all you're going to do is, just like we did with the meatballs, you're going to pull them out and roll them, kind of squish them in your hand. Okay, about that size, about the size of a lime, maybe a little more. And then I'm just going to press it down just a little bit and shape it. You want to make sure it's held together, okay? And you want to make sure that you don't have a big mound in the middle, okay? If this looks, you can see it's kind of flat. You want it to be kind of flat because otherwise the middle's not going to cook. If you make it like this, you're not going to be able to cook the middle of it. So you want to make sure it's flattened out and then set it right down in your oil. And you'll hear it start to sizzle, okay? And you can see it bubbling. That's exactly what you want. You want it to bubble up a little bit, okay? It's going to cook the edges and it's going to warm the middle. I'm going to make another one of these. Okay, and we're going to let those cook. All right, let me wash my hands really quick. Okay, while those are cooking, we're going to come down here and make the topping for it. Today we're making mango salsa. Mango salsa is really good with crab cakes. It gives it that island flavor. The main ingredient in mango salsa is obviously mango, okay? This is mango right here. And you can see there's actually a couple different variations of mango, and really the biggest difference between the two is these are ripe and this is not, okay? You don't want to use this mango to make your mango salsa. It's not ripe. It won't even come apart unless you flick it up like that, okay? It's really hard like pineapple. What you want is this mango that's really ripe and juicy, okay? And all you're going to do is cut that up. Now, I have bought sliced mango already. I bought it from Sam's. You can buy the fruit itself and peel it yourself. It's kind of hard to cut up mango because it has a big pit in it. So I buy it at Sam's already cut up. And it works because it's the same price as the fruit. Sometimes when you buy pre-cut fruit, it's way more expensive and it's just not worth it. But with mango, they've already got a big container of it sliced up. So I like to buy that, and I'll use the real ripe ones for mango salsa. All right, the next thing we're going to put in there is red onion. And this is red onion right here. Okay, and I've already chopped it up for the sake of time. I'm going to put that red onion right in there. And you can see how much you're going to put in based on how much mango you put in. A little bit less than half. I'm also going to use red pepper and poblano pepper. Okay, and I'm using two different peppers for a reason. First of all, the flavor. The red pepper is really sweet, just like the orange pepper in our crab cakes. It's also going to add certain health benefits because it's a different color. All of these peppers and onions and fruits, everything we use has a different health benefit to it. And it's all based on what color they are. Let me look at my crab cakes, make sure they're doing all right. All right, I'll go over there and flip those in a second. Okay, and I want to tell you about these as I'm cutting them up. Any kind of color you use, whether it's yellow, red, green, orange, white, they all have different health benefits, and they're all the same based on their color. So a mango might be the same color as a yellow bell pepper. They're going to have the same health benefits. Green, cilantro, we have lime, we have poblano peppers. Green is good to fight heart disease. Green also helps you fight an unhealthy liver. Okay, it can fight cancers. There's a lot of big things that green does, and green can be anything: broccoli, asparagus. There's lots and lots of green vegetables. And you might have a green pepper and a red pepper. Well, the green pepper is going to do one thing, and a red pepper is going to do another, even though they're both peppers. That's the interesting thing. Chop these up a little bit more. All right. Let me double check my crab cakes and I'm not talking and going to burn them. Yeah, I overcooked them a little bit, but that's all right. I like them crispy. Okay. All right, those are going to finish on the other side. It won't take as long on the other side. Okay. The next thing I want is cilantro. You can buy these big bundles of cilantro at Walmart for about 80 cents instead of buying the big plastic container of them that cost $3 for half as much. Okay, a little bit of cilantro does go a long way. Cilantro, again, is going to fall under the green category. It's a leafy green, and it's going to have lots of benefits for fighting against heart disease. So we're going to add that in there. I'm going to cut a little bit of poblano. Now, poblano pepper is going to be a little bit hotter than a regular pepper, so you don't need a ton of it, but it's also got a different health benefit than red. That's why I'm putting it in there. We're coloring our plate. It also has some sweetness to it too. Okay, so I'm not going to use a ton of it. You can use jalapeno if you want. I normally would, but since everybody's eating this at the house today, I'm going to use a little bit less of a heat in the pepper. Okay. Yellow fruits and vegetables we talked about this with the squash the other day. They help your bones. They have vitamin A in it. They actually can help fight acne. They also fight against cancer, and that's the same benefits as an orange. Okay. I'm also going to sprinkle this with lime. Okay, we love lime in just about anything. It's so good. It's going to give it tons and tons of flavor in the mango salsa. And let's check our crab cakes. Looks like they're about done. Yeah. Okay. They're going to be sizzling like that when they come out. I think I have all my ingredients for my mango salsa. I'm ready to stir it up. Do some research on your fruits and vegetables. You'd be amazed at all the different colors and different benefits that each fruit and vegetable have. That's why, especially right now when we're fighting a big problem with our health, it's good to have lots and lots of different things fighting against those negatives. Okay, it gives you lots and lots of immunity. Okay, all right. I'm going to bring these crab cakes over. A little bit of mango sauce on top of those. We'll even garnish it and be really fancy. There's crab cakes and mango salsa. Next time, we're going to move north. Okay, so if you look on the map, we're moving north of Maryland. We're going to be in Pennsylvania, so do some research on Pennsylvania. See if you can figure out a cuisine that I might be making from there. Pennsylvania is really big, so it has several different big cities in it. Maryland's kind of smaller, so it's kind of easy to figure out crab cakes. Pennsylvania is a little bit bigger. There's different things in different parts of it. The hint I'm going to give you is move north of Maryland. Okay, not necessarily north of West Virginia, because Pennsylvania borders both. So move north of Maryland into Pennsylvania. See if you can think of what I'm going to make next time. It's going to be really yummy, I promise you that. Okay, see you next time.